What you think of Montas?
I thought he was really good. From the very first inning, you saw how the ball was coming out, the velo, just kind of like the heavy sinker at times, the split, got swing and misses, made pitches when needed, the cutter, slider. I thought he had everything working. I thought he was solid off it all.
Speaking of ball coming out, is that the hardest hit ball you've seen from Juan this year? He crushed that one.
I don't know. He's hit a lot of them, but that was pretty impressive. You don't see too many people go up there, in this ballpark. Off the bat, it was pretty impressive. But I've seen a lot of balls from Juan that I don't know that's probably the hardest one. So.
What's impressed you the most about how Tyrone Taylor plays?
Man, it's unbelievable. I thought, it was a huge, in a good team win, but the defense won us that game right there. When you look at that seventh inning, and for TT to go out there and get that ball in the gap, not too many center fielders are able to make that play the way he did. He got there with ease. Then Acuna, obviously, but then that last inning, first batter of that inning, I thought the ball was over Jeff's head, and before you know it, TT goes out there and dives for it and makes a hell of a play. So elite defender, and that. Even though it's been hard for him offensively, he continues to find ways to help us win baseball games, and today was the perfect example of it.
Seems like Soto's going into the break here. He's not going to the All-Star game, but he's kind of showing everybody why he should be an All-Star right now.
I think he's been doing that for the last month and a half or so. Obviously it's hard to understand and believe that he's going home for now for the next 4 days as opposed to going in Atlanta, but that's something that he's out of his hands, it's out of our hands. The good thing is continue to play the way he's capable and as expected. A guy that is going to go out there and he's going to continue to do everything he can to help us win baseball games. He's an all-star.
Do you think he's carrying the chip at all, or is he just kind of shrugged it off?
That's who he is. He's a special player with a special talent, and he's doing his job.
What do you think has been the biggest key for Reed Garrett over the last week and a half or so?
Yeah, continue to tinker with his pitch usage. When to use certain pitches. Obviously throwing strikes. We've seen at times where he works people. Kind of innings get away from him. But I just feel like using all of his pitches against lefties, against righties, the sinker, the curve, becoming not too predictable, if you want to call it that way. I think that's the key. But at the end, executing pitches. He came in that situation and got us huge 3 outs there.
One is going to end the first half with numbers that are pretty similar to his career numbers throughout his career in the first half. You guys have continued to say that he's going to be the same player that has shown up for the Yankees and for other teams. What indications did you have that he would be able to match some of those career numbers and be the same player?
Everything that we've seen since day one, His ability to control the strike zone, his ability to make elite swing decisions, the contact, he's pretty impressive. Uses the whole field, everything. When you look at the underlying numbers, the eye test, everything tells you that this is, one of the best players in the game.
What were you told about that caught stealing that made you confident in that challenge?
Huge one there by Harrison, back-to-back days. Yesterday, same thing. I thought yesterday was a lot clearer. Watching it on replay today, I'm just going to rely on him. I thought we were just taking a chance when Gibby told me to review it, to challenge it. And then I asked Gibby, hold back. And then Harrison was pretty sure. He came off the bat. So, again, that was a big play there. So, assist to him there.
How critical is it to get to Diaz for 2 innings there?
Huge. That wasn't the original plan. Shutting out there in the 8th. Because what was coming up from them, their best hitters, I thought that was a game right there, and I was going to figure it out the 9. But then, because of the caught steal in there, and he was pitch efficient, we got the All-Star coming up here. He's going to get a break. So I was like, if there's a time, this time of the year, where we need him to go multiple, today's the time. So I checked with him after the inning, and there was no hesitation. It's like, I got it. I was like, all right, it's your game.